Hello subscribers, this is yours truly JBlue68 coming to you with yet another video. This is going to be a comic book haul video, and my comics are late. This video is late too, actually. This was actually supposed to be filmed on Wednesday, comic book day, but as it just said, my comic books were late, but not to worry because I have issues. Get it? I have issues. Isn't that a cool coffee cup? Ha 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 ha. I have issues. All right, very good. And there's coffee in it. Let's take a sip. So, before I get into this comic haul video, I want to say thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, for liking, sharing, and commenting. Please continue to do so. And tap the notification bell so you get more vids like this as I post them immediately. Well, the first book we have in front of you, this is from the DC. This is actually going to be a mixture of comics, I should say, from both the main powerhouses, which are of course DC Comics and Marvel, and then we also have some independent comic books in here as well. This book is actually has been on delay for quite some time. The first series of this came out last year, and they're just now coming out with book 2. Wow, yeah, this is book number 2. Book number 1 came out last year. I did a video on it. And as you see, this is a cool cover here. We got Constantine on the cover. And then he has a cigarette in his hand, and the smoke that's coming from the cigarette actually coalesces into the form or the face of the Swamp Thing. This is Swamp Thing Green Hell, written by Jeff Lemire, one of my favorite writers, Doug Mahnke, and Dave Barron contributing. I just want to briefly show you some of the artwork from the pages here. It's this nice little spread out page that I was looking at when I was going through the book. Dig that. I love the colors in these pages. That's really, really very cool. Look at that. Beautiful. That is very nice, man. I love it when a comic book is not only drawn right, but is colored right, because you can have a nice artist but not have necessarily a nice colorer or penciler. And in the world of comics, those three entities are not necessarily, or those three things are not necessarily done by the same person. The penciler can be different from the artist can be different from the colorist, so on, etc. Then you have sometimes, an artist or illustrator who does all three. So yeah, there we go. Look at those pages. So just wanted to briefly show you some of the pages from this book. Again, this is DC Comics, Book 2, Green Hell, from the Black Label series. Next up, we have another DC comic. This is book number 1, the first issue of Icon versus Hardware. These are milestone comic characters under the DC label. And this is book number 1, written by my man Reggie Hudlin. Wow, Reggie Hudlin, who was the former writer on the TV show Everybody Hates Chris, the TV show about the life of Chris Rock, and also the former writer of Black Panther with Marvel Comics. Yeah, Reggie Hudlin. You can see his name there on the cover, Reggie Hudlin. Also Leon Childs, Dennis Cohen, Yasmin Flores Montanez, John Floyd, and Chris Sotomayor contributing to this story. All right. And this has a 30th anniversary emblem of Milestone Comics on the cover. Then we have another DC comic. The infamous story of DC Universe's Lazarus Planet. This is Omega, and this is a one-shot. This Superstorm Warning. I haven't read any of these books yet. It's not from lack, as I always say, lack of interest. I'm very interested in them. If I wasn't interested in them, I wouldn't buy them. It's lack of time. I do a lot in a day. I do a lot in a week. And I'm actually just now getting caught up in reading my comics because, as I said in previous videos, my power was out for a couple of days. My power went out like 3 times over the last 2 weeks. So I've been sitting in the dark and in the cold. So I'm just now catching up with my comic book reading. All right. Let's move on. Next up we have From Dark Horse Comics, I haven't purchased a comic book from Dark Horse in a while. The Blue Book, issue number 1, is supposed to be some type of creepy story. It looks like a UFO or something on the cover there. It looks like a scene from, what is it, Nope, the movie that came out last year, or a scene from Close Encounters, some kind of alien terrestrial thing that's going on. This is written by James Tynion, the writer of Something is Killing the Children. Interesting cover there. I know nothing about the story, but I do know it's supposed to be some kind of horror comic. Where Monsters Lie, a very popular comic, also from Dark Horse, written by Carl Starks with Piotr Kowalski, Vladimir Popov, and Joshua Reed. And I've heard a lot of rave reviews about this. I think book number 2 of this story is out, but I want to see if book number 1 actually interests me, and if it does, then I'll go ahead and move on to issue number 2. Here's issue number 2 of Mosley, a book I did a review on during Black History Month. There were a couple of books again I was supposed to do reviews on for Black History Month and never got to. And again, I have to blame that on the power outages that I had that were in February. So I didn't get around to doing, including Inner Circle, or Vicious Circle rather. But I'll get to them eventually. But this is, anyways, book number 2 of Mosley. I can't wait to read it. Issue number 1 I found very interesting. And we'll see if this will continue my interest in this storyline. This is by Rob Gilroy, Sam Lofty, Jean-Francois Boulot, if I'm pronouncing that name correctly. French name, it sounds like. In the book I just mentioned just a moment ago, Something is Killing the Children, James Tynion IV. And I've heard, this is issue number 29, and there was an announcement on Instagram where this Netflix will be adopting this story. And I really hope that they do a good job on it. This is not a story for children, though, but I kind of thought, because of the popularity, this is kind of Boom Studios' flagship comic book right now. Something is Killing the Children. Very popular and very well done series. So we'll see how they do on the TV show when it's finally adopted, when it comes out on Netflix. There's no announcement date that has been made yet, but in the meantime, I am enjoying the stories. Something is Killing the Children, and then its spin-off series, House of Slaughter. And this is issue number 12 of House of Slaughter. Very creepy, kind of creepy cover there. So I wonder, are they going to combine both stories together? There's a lot of story to tell here. This is The Butcher's Return Part 2. Again, from Boom Studios. All right. Then we get into our Todd McFarlane comics from Image Comics. And we have Spawn issue number 339. A very cool cover there. The Spawn covers are usually all cool. They're all very cool. Pretty much unbeaten and unchallenged covers from one of the best artists around, or Todd McFarlane, in my opinion anyway. And then also artists that usually work with him in terms of drawing these covers for this popular series. Then we have Scorched issue number 15, also from Image Comics. And by the way, he charges only $2.99 for all of his comic books. Only $2.99. Most comic books are $3.99 on up. He has the cheapest comics around. That's not an insult, that's a compliment. Especially considering the content and, again, the artwork of these books. This is Scorched issue number, what issue is this? 15, yeah. $2.99. I think I just said that. Cool cover there again. And then again from the Spawn universe, Gunslinger issue number 17, also $2.99. Wow. Just look at the artwork on that, man. Just very, very cool. You know, I just say thanks to Todd McFarlane for all he does when it comes to comic books and when it comes to toys. The guy is doing it all, man. He's doing it all. And then the next very creepy cover from King Spawn. Very creepy cover there. Look at that. Yikes. Yikes. Looks like a zombie or something. That should have actually been the cover for Scorched, I think. But yeah, so issue number 20 of King Spawn, and that is looking very creepy there. I want to take another sip of coffee. Let's see, excuse me. Okay. All right. Yum yum. And then we get into, this is Marvel Comics Predator issue number 1. They rebooted the series, and I'm not sure why they keep doing that, but I know they've done the same thing with Alien. They'll start the series and then reboot it. This is it, written by Ed Brisson, Nato Diaz, Ballardino Bravo, and Eric Argensinega. I hope I'm not butchering those names, but yeah. So this is a restart, a reissue of the Predator series. Honestly, I haven't read one book, but I'm saving them for a rainy day. Again, I sound like a broken record when I say it, but I have a lot of reading to do. So, and that's good. That's good. I love to read. Okay, so that ends this particular lot of comic books. Let's get the next lot up, and the next group of comics will be all Marvel comics. Okay, what I picked up in terms of Marvel comics. And first up, we have Marvel Voices Wakanda Forever #1 with the pantheon of Wakandan characters here. This is all about Wakandan characters and story. And yeah, the Marvel Voices series has been going on for quite some time now. And this one, as you see, takes precedence in the nation of Wakanda. Kind of a thick book there, too. This is a $5.99 comic. That's what I was talking about in terms of prices of comics. Then we get into another Black Panther comic, the Black Panther main series. And this is issue number 15 of that. That looks very, very cool there. I love that. And it looks like the Panther God has a panther in his mouth. It looks like he's in some form of danger there. Love that cover. Love that cover, though. And then we get into one of Marvel's other very popular black characters. I wish I would have had this, or this should have come out during Black History Month. This is Bishop, who's one of the X-Men. Bishop, War College issue number 1. Issue number 2 came out this week. But yes, features several popular characters on the cover there. There's Colossus, Beast, Wolverine, and Jean Grey. And believe it or not, they're all black. All these characters are black, so it's probably some type of alternate universe thing going on here. It's very popular in comic books nowadays, not just Marvel. Yeah, but all the characters are black, so it'll be interesting to read this. Okay, and then we have Murder World from the Murder World series, featuring Moon Knight on the cover there. And I think these are one shots. These are one shots from the Murder World series. So yeah. And then one of my favorite comic book series, Strange Academy. This is Strange Academy Finals, My Father Like Son. Okay. Looking forward to them eventually adopting this, as I've said time and time again, as a TV series. And then we get into Wasp, issue number 2 by Al Ewing, I believe. She has her own independent series coming out, and they did the same thing with Ant-Man. The Ant-Man character. Okay. But this is Wasp, of course. Janet, I think this is Hope Van Dyne. Next up, we have Fantastic Four. And this is Fantastic Four issue number 4. Loving those covers there. This is the artwork, of course, of Alex Ross. I don't even have to. It doesn't have his name on the cover here, but this is Alex Ross. I don't even really need to even guess that. I know Alex Ross's artwork as soon as I see it. Very, very great artist he is, and I love the covers that he does for the Fantastic Four. And then it's issue number 5 of that same story, Fantastic Four. And this also is a series that has been rebooted. Next up, we get into issue number... What issue is this? Issue number 4, Fall Sunrise, a Doctor Strange storyline, new Doctor Strange storyline. Very psychedelic artwork there by Tradd Moore, the Moores, Tradd and Heather Moore. Okay. All right, so ends lot number 2 of our comic book haul, and we will end it with more Marvel comics in lot number, and I call them lots. Like a car lot. So we'll end it with the rest of our Marvel comic books that we have collected. This is Moon Knight issue number 21, a series that has been doing very well under the Marvel Comics banner. And then we have Thor issue number 31, and it says guest starring Black Panther. Okay, interesting. But this story has been losing its steam, I think, ever since Donny Cates left it. The Thor stories have been losing their steam, have been losing their stride somewhat, but I still collect them nonetheless. Can't say for how much longer, though. And then, oh my God, X-Men. Oh God. Why do I keep giving Marvel my money when it comes to these X-Men stories when they have so many of them? I said I would not get caught up into buying so many X-Men comic books again. But unfortunately, I have. Fortunately or unfortunately, I have. So we have Marvel Comics, the main line, issue number 19. And again, I don't know what's going on in the world of X-Men because I kind of dipped out of the stories in terms of reading them. But I'll return to them some way, someday. All right, and issue number 20 of the X-Men. All right. And there's a Brood on there, on the cover there. So something interesting, I'm sure, is happening. Not their first rodeo with the Brood. And then we have Immoral X-Men, issue number 1. It's from the Sins of Sinister storyline. And of course, that is Emma Frost on the cover there. And she has Mr. Sinister in some kind of chokehold with his chain, man. What is going on there? He must have pissed her off really bad. Okay. Then we have Invincible Iron Man. I think a storyline that a lot of Marvel comic book readers and comic book readers, period, have lost interest in. This is another story that has not, I think, has lost its stride, so to speak. Written by Jerry Duggan, Juan Frigeri, and Brian Valenza contributing. But I don't want to dog the story because, again, I haven't been reading them. I've just been collecting them. Some comic books I collect only sometimes because of the cover art. And this is some cool cover art here. So, of course, we all love Iron Man, but, the stories have to be good in the comic books, in order for the interest to continue. Then here's another Iron Man comic book. I think this is a one-shot. I Am Iron Man. Okay. But the covers are, again, you have to admit the covers for Iron Man are very cool. I really like them. And speaking of cool covers, I continue to brag about the covers of Ghost Rider. Look at that. That's by Benjamin Percy. It's issue, again, number 12 of the storyline. And man, those covers are to die for. Look at some of that glare out of there. Look at that. That is awesome. Very nice. Very nice. And then we get into Cosmic Ghost Rider, a story where the Punisher is basically become the Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's issue number 1. I know that this series came out a couple of years back, about a year or so back, and I wasn't interested in it then. I'm really not interested in it now, but I'm hearing some things about it that you as comic book readers, specifically Marvel comic book readers, that is something that you definitely want to read. As it's starting some new character or storyline plot synopsis that, you know, shouldn't be missed, whatever. So we'll see. We'll see. And then also cool cover art of Carnage. I think this is by Ram V, who's drawing the cover art for this storyline. This is issue number 10 of Carnage. Wow, a lot going on there. Something I definitely don't want to see. This is Spider-Man. This is Snow and Ice. And as I said repeatedly, that, you know, we were hit with a lot of major snowstorms up here in Michigan that caused a lot of power outages. So I want to skip past this really quick because I don't even really want to look at any more snow, man. But anyways, it's issue number 20 of The Amazing Spider-Man. Let's get that out of there. And then issue number 21, Peter Parker and Mary Jane on the cover there. And then you got a word bubble or some dialogue on the cover, which is something you rarely see in modern comic books nowadays. I think this is written by Zeb Wells. This is artwork of John Romita Jr. I think that John Romita is one of the best artists to draw Spider-Man, in my opinion. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of John Romita. I think he did an excellent job on the Kick-Ass series. That was written by Mark Millar years ago. And he did an excellent job on a Captain America series that came out to Man Out of Time or whatever the storyline was that came out years back. And then I think he does a good job of drawing Spider-Man too, as I just said. So anyway, all right. Oh man, and here's more Snow and Ice. What the heck is going on here? There is MODOK on the cover there. Captain America Sentinel of Liberty, issue number 10. Yeah, I want to get past this really quick because I don't want to look at any more Snow and Ice. All right. Is that it? Is that it? I think that's it. So, yeah, that's it. So, I'm going to bring the original comic books back up here. The first batch of comics that we were looking at. Okay. Take these down and put this back up here. So, I hope that you've enjoyed this huge comic book haul. Please like, again, share, and subscribe to my videos. Tap the notification bell and give the video a thumbs up. And as I always say, read a comic book, support your local comic book stores. They're small businesses. They need the support. You know, comic books make the world go round. All right, that's it. That's all, y'all. Thank you for joining me. Please be safe. Stay warm. We are headed into spring pretty soon. I'll be so glad when April gets here. April and May are one of my favorite comic book months. And speaking of May, that will be my first venture into a Comic Con in quite some time. I'll be going to the Motor City Comic Con in May, and I'll do more information, give more information on that in the upcoming weeks. We have an all-star guest lineup at the Motor City Comic Con. I'm not going to discuss that right now. Like I said, I'll discuss that. Let's discuss that in an upcoming video. Also in May, we have May the 4th coming. May the 4th be with you, which is, of course, the whole Star Wars genre thing, Star Wars fandom thing. And May the 5th as well, which will be Free Comic Book Day. So a lot coming up in May. I can't wait. And then I haven't seen it yet, but I'll be seeing Shazam over this weekend. I'll probably be seeing it tonight. And look out for a video on that. It'll probably be in my shorts, my video shorts, okay? So look out for that. Okay, so that's it. That's all, y'all. Again, thank you for joining me. Peace, love, and hair grease.